Murray Baker had pedigree on his side when he started training. He's the great-great-nephew of Henry Redwood, known as the father of New Zealand turf for his efforts to promote thoroughbred racing in the mid-19th century. Redwood also earned fame for initiating the reverse raid, taking the first New Zealand horses to compete in Australia. Baker followed the lead of his ancestor and carved his own historic niche. By the time of his induction, Baker had won 21 Group 1s in Australia, the most by a New Zealand-based trainer. The tally included 4 AJC derbies and 4 Underwood Stakes, the Caulfield Cup, Brisbane Cup, Sydney Cup, and the Queen Elizabeth Stakes. Baker's racing passion was sparked at the now-defunct Green Meadows racecourse in Napier while still at school. He did stable chores for trainer Harry Green and rode pacework. But there were other sporting interests. Baker was a successful cricketer, making his first-class debut for Central Districts as a leg spin bowler and middle-order batsman at the age of 20. He was part of the team that won the Plunket Shield 2 years in a row. Racing took a back seat as cricket lured Baker to England, where he played for Huddersfield. The priorities changed when Baker returned with his Swedish wife Marianne and decided to have a crack at training in Woodville. The first local Group 1 came in 1985, when Sir Vigilant won the New Zealand St Leger. Yet that success failed to produce a flood of fresh talent for the stables. It took 8 months to get a new horse on the books. Baker learned that patience was crucial for trainers and horses. Over the following years, Baker developed the knack for understanding a horse's potential and would plan accordingly to maximise their opportunities. That approach paid dividends in the 90s. Baker trained 3 fillies of the year. Eagle Eye won the Sydney Cup, Miss Stanima claimed the Auckland Cup, and the Phantom finished second in Australasia's biggest race, the 1990 Melbourne Cup. Baker moved to Cambridge at the start of the new millennium, and it started a new run of success with outstanding horses such as Prize Gem, Nom de Jeu, Tusker, the Heckler, Lion Tamer, Harris Tweed, Turn Me Loose, and more recently, Jon Snow. Baker's stars like Mongolian Khan gave him his first Caulfield Cup win.
Magnolian Khan in front of our Ivanhoe. Trip to Paris, driving up on the inside. Magnolian Khan in front though, and Magnolian Khan won the Caulfield Cup. Hartnell's the widest.
Bonneval was an Oaks winner in Australia and New Zealand, which earned the mare the 3-year-old and Horse of the Year titles in 2017.
Here's Bonneval at the 100. Bonneval up to Galo Chop. Bonneval takes Galo Chop, and Bonneval won again.
They're all great horses, but for Baker, his champion athlete was Dundeel. In 2013, the Bay Colt was supreme in Sydney as he claimed Australia's Triple Crown with a commanding win in the AJC Derby.
It's a Dundeel chiming in, and the Pocket Rocket from New Zealand claimed them in a stride, and It's a Dundeel race to the front of the 200-metre mark. This is an exercise gallop. He's moving away for one of the most impressive wins you'll ever see in the Derby. It's a Dundeel, and a hand canter wins it by 5 lengths.
And then, as a 4-year-old, creating history in becoming the first horse to beat the previously unbeaten Atlantic Jewel in the Underwood Stakes.
A neck in front of It's a Dundeel coming at her. She's fighting on. It's a Dundeel getting to Atlantic Jewel. They come to the line, and It's a Dundeel nailed her. Beat her right on the wire.
Racing continued to flow through the Baker bloodlines as Bjorn trained in partnership with his father for several years before relocating to stables in Sydney. Andrew Foresman stepped up to co-train with Baker. They won the premiership 3 times within 5 years. After 40 years with a trainer's licence and approaching 1,500 winners, there's no sign that Baker is ready to give away the dawn starts at the stables. It's the camaraderie that draws him back every day and dreams of more racing success, especially against the Australians.